Okay, we're going to go over how to create a Google Classroom for the 2020-2021 school year in Greenfield Union School District. So the way we're going to set that up is we're going to go to googleclassroom.com. You can also type it up in Google. I happen to have it linked, but you can also type in classroom.google.com. Now, once you're here, please don't get scared on all of mine. Once you're here, you'll see that either you have none if you've never used it, or you may have some from the year before. Now, it's very important that if you have some from the year before, that you archive them so that students don't get confused in where to go and it's not cluttered like mine. So, what you're going to do is if you are the owner of the Google Classroom, you're going to go to these three dots right here and go to archive. You're not going to lose your information. What you're going to do is if you ever need to return to see something that you posted or you wanted to reuse the post, you're going to go here on this left-hand side, the hamburger menu, go all the way down and click on archived classes. And then you'll be able to find all of your old Google Classrooms here, just like I have them. Okay, so make sure, please make sure to archive those classes before you begin so that the kids don't have to have a cluttered screen. So now what we're going to do, if you've never created one, or even if you have created one, you're going to go to the top right. You're going to click on that plus sign. You're going to click on create class. Now, if I was a student trying to join a class, I would press the plus sign and then I would create join class. And once I click on join class, then I would have to, as a student, enter that code. Okay, but I just wanted to show what the student one looks like so that you knew what your kids would see if they were going to join it manually. Okay, so what you're going to do again, you're going to go to that plus sign, press create class. Here you're going to put your class name. So if you're in the elementary, you might want to put your last name here, like Mr. Hernandez, right? Because they only really have you. But if you're at the middle school level, you're probably going to want to put period 1 history or whatever other subject it is or whatever other period it is. Now you could put it down here, but it's up to you and it'll look differently. So this one will be the actual name of it. You could also add a room number. That might be helpful. We're going to press create. So here we have it. Here is your class code, by the way. So if students need to add your class and they want to do it manually, this is the code that you would give them. Now, just so you know, for the code, if you don't like that code, you can always change it. I'm going to show you how to do that. You're going to go to the settings cog on the top right. And right here, you're going to see class code. And you can keep resetting it until it's something that you like. I used to do this so that it was something that's easy for me to memorize. Obviously, if you're at the middle school, that might be kind of hard to memorize all of your sections, but it's also something easy to memorize for kids if they get logged out. So anyway, we'll go ahead and leave it at this one here. Here you can also make edits. If you don't like how this looked or you forgot to add some of this information, you could do it here. Something else, so next it says stream. Students can post and comment. I recommend you remove this feature because otherwise students will be posting things like, hi, what's up? What are you doing? And it can get overwhelming and it'll just flood your notifications on your Google Classroom and in your inbox. So I would say only teachers can post or comment if you're trying to get pretty strict. You can also do students can only comment, and then you can mute kids who don't comment the proper way. But if you're a little bit afraid of that, then you could do it this way, and then that way, students can only access you through the private chat or the private comment box. The next one is classwork on the stream. Now, the stream, I'll show you what that looks like in a second. We're going to save this, and I'll show you what the stream looks like. So this is the stream, and the stream will show you the most recent thing posted. It could be an announcement, it could be classwork. It's very full of of things that you've posted. So to me, I've never stuck to the stream, and I always tell students just to go straight to classwork because here the work will be organized nicely for you. So far, we have no assignments, but I want to show you what it would look like if I had more assignments. So I want to show you what it looked like if you had more assignments. So we're going to go to the mock classroom that I created. And here's the stream. This is what I'm talking about. So the most recent things posted, to me, it's just kind of unorganized. It does show what it's called, but I just don't enjoy this feature very much. So I like to stay away from it. I'll go to classwork here, and you can see this is the way our district is asking us to create our Google Classrooms for ease of just everybody, really, for the kids, for the adults who help the kids, or for the older siblings that can help the kids. So you'll see down at the bottom, we have week 1. We have the dates, August 12th through the 14th. August 2nd, I'm sorry, week 2 is August 17th through the 21st. So these need to be there. I said middle school example, but it might look a little different. I'll explain more in a second. So anyway, this is pretty much what it would look like. You'll see that the topics here, if I click on week 1, these are all the things that are related to week 1. So here I will see my math assignment, my ELA, my science, okay, if I was doing the elementary one. Now, if I was going to do the middle school one, then here I'm only an English teacher, then I'm only going to have English assignments. If I'm only a math teacher, I'm only going to have math assignments for the week. What you could do is put the warm up, or you can say, Monday's assignment, Tuesday's assignment, and so forth. So I'll show you what that looks like on how to create those in the one that we just created right now. So this is the history one here. So we're going to go to classwork. Again, always start with classwork. It's the easiest to navigate through. We're going to press create. I'm going to click on assignment. You can click on quiz assignment. It'll have some extra settings though, and I like to stay away from that one. This one's a really great feature. You can ask a question and then students can respond to the question. And if you want, depends on what you click on it, you can have students reply to each other. It's a really great feature. Material is if you have something that the kids are going to have to access often and they can always go back, like a library. Here we use post. So we use post is, let's say you posted this in history, period 1, but you also needed to post it in period 2 and you forgot, then here you're going to click on reuse post in order to be able to do that. And you can also use this feature for an old Google Classroom that's in your archive. Reuse the post, and then when you are ready to post it into your new Google Classroom, it does let you edit that. If that doesn't make sense, that's okay. This is just a little extra for you. You can also create the topics. The topics are those ones that were on the sides that were by week in the mock classroom. Let me go back to show you. Again, classwork. Here are the topics. Okay. All right, let's go back to the one I just created. Again, classwork. And now I'm going to actually create an assignment. Press create assignment. So again, because I'm at the middle school, mine will look a little different. So I'm going to type in Monday. Here I'm going to number my assignments because it's so much easier to reference. If the kid has a question, he can say direction number 2 didn't make sense. Can you explain more? Or I can refer to the directions and say, Jackie, you did not refer to my instructions. Please read direction number 2 and make sure you complete it. So that's super, super helpful because it just makes it easier for everybody. So we're going to pretend that we have some pretty clear directions here. Now what we're going to do is press add. Hopefully you've already created the assignment. If you have not created the assignment that you're going to attach, you're going to press create. This is not as convenient feature because it takes time to create these assignments. So I would say more likely you're going to end up pressing add. Okay, you're going to press add, then you're going to go to your drive because that is where your Google Slides live. Now I'm going to look for a presentation that I created. Let's see. I'm going to go to my drive. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I'm going to pick this one. This one is how to write an argumentative essay step by step. So this is the assignment I want kids to look at. Now I can select 3 options when I click on this button here. You'll see that this drop down is appearing. So students can view file means they can only see my original document that I've posted there. Students can edit the file. That means that they can make changes to this original assignment. Most likely, you are not going to want them to do that unless you've created some norms that have established, some proper citizenship with the technology resources that they're given. You're also going to have an option to make a copy for each student. So let's say that in this slideshow, I have boxes for students to respond in the slideshow, then I'm going to want to make a copy for each student. If I don't need them to respond in there, or I don't need to write anything, I'm not collecting anything from there, I'm going to leave it just at student can view file. Most likely that's where you're going to leave it at. Now you might want to attach something else on that Monday. Maybe they have to take Cornell notes based on the slideshow that they had. So you're going to look for your Cornell notes wherever they're saved. And we're going to pretend it's this one here. And then you're going to go ahead and move on. So step number 1 could be view the slideshow, and number 2, fill out the Cornell notes. Number 3 could be mark it as done or turn it in when you are finished. I found that in the beginning I had to remind students to turn in the assignment when they were finished. So what you're going to do is go to here, this button. Now what's convenient about this one is if I'm teaching multiple periods, then I get to go here and I get to click on each period that I want to post this assignment in. If it's only for one class, then that's all I'm doing it. Elementary teachers, this probably wouldn't apply to you. Here, it's all students. So I want all students to be able to see this assignment. Now, if I did have students that were already in Google Classroom, I would show a long list of students. I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. What I would be able to do though, is if I had a list of 10 students or let's say 30 students, right? And maybe I need to differentiate a lesson and all of my red students need an extra lesson on phonics. So I'm going to add that and only those 10 students would get this assignment. Nobody else would know that this assignment existed. So it could be like an extra. I could also pick my, let's say, blue group, and maybe my blue group is advanced and I want them to get an extra assignment to help them continue with the rigor of whatever standard we're learning. Then you would pick those kids and then they would have an extra assignment that nobody else would see. So that's one of the benefits of this button here. Here you can put points. You can also leave it ungraded if you click on that option. The due date. So very, very important here. You're going to pick the due date. Once you pick the due date that is appropriate for that assignment, please, 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 right here where it says time, click on the time because otherwise it won't be due until midnight and that leaves for some unhealthy habits in kids. So I like to just post something as late as possible, like 7 p.m. If a kid happens to turn it in late and you excuse it, it's not going to be a big deal, but I just like to put 7 p.m. because it reminds kids just to turn it in before bedtime and maybe before their shower, before they relax. You could even do it earlier. It's up to you. But again, it's not set in stone. I just hate that it does it at midnight. Then here, the topics is very important. Everybody will have the same topics. You're going to press create topic. And here we're going to enter week 1 and then the dates. So the dates of week 1 are August 12th to August 14th. Okay, so all of the documents for this week are going to live under that umbrella. So I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so you'll see now I have a week 1, I have the dates, and I have the Monday assignment that students are expected to do. Now, again, middle school might want to have a Tuesday, Wednesday, and so forth. It is up to you. You could just do one post that has every assignment that they're going to do for that week. So that there is some flexibility there. Now, what I want to do is show you now what the elementary version will look like. So for that one, we're going to press create, again, assignment. And then for this one, we're going to call this one whatever subject it is. So let's say we're doing ELA time in elementary. Again, I suggest doing the numbering. If you have younger students, you might want to use some more fun text like emojis. You can right click and you'll see this come up, emoji and symbols. And then you can put some fun things that go with it. Let's see if I can find some academic emojis here. Maybe it's about they have to use the computer. And so when they see that one, they remember that they have to log on to, I don't know, Clever. Okay. So you can get creative with it. And again, you're going to use this the same step as I did with the middle school version. Find it in your Google Drive. It could be any assignment. Let's do this one here. So I have here my assignment. And for maybe for elementary, what I'm going to want to do is I have all of the slides together for the whole week of ELA. So all of these are ELA. And of course, you could do this with the middle school as well. So let's say for home is just kind of like, hey, this is week 2, and this is how you can contact me. Then it's Monday, and I can have some interaction with the kids. I can have a video up. I can insert an audio. If you want to know how to do that, visit my YouTube channel and you'll find the video there. So here I'll have some directions on how to do that, and they'll see this is for Monday. So then these are all the Monday slides that they have to look at, and some of them will have them do different things. Then you'll see that the Tuesday slide shows up. So all of the things that they have to do on Tuesday. So this is what it could look like for all the slideshow being on one week. Okay. There will be some interesting parts on how to arrange this because you're going to have cohort A and cohort B. And so you might have to have a slideshow version for cohort A and one for cohort B because each day they have to do something different. You know, one day they're meeting with you and one day they're not. So anyway, I hope that that makes sense. All right, we're going to go back here. And then you would fill this out the same way that I just showed you. Now, I want to show you what else you can do here. There's a sign button. You can click assign. Maybe it's ready to be published for kids to see. You can also schedule it. So maybe I love to get ahead of myself and I want to put my assignments 2-3 weeks ahead. It could be overwhelming for kids to see assignments a month ahead. So what I suggest is maybe to schedule it. And you could decide upon yourself, you know, maybe I want to schedule it every Friday to post. I probably would choose to have it scheduled every Monday at 8 in the morning for that current week so that there is no confusion on what has to be done on what day. So schedule will allow me to pick a day and a time. So maybe I want to pick the following Monday and I want it to be at 8 a.m. Then I'm going to press schedule. Now, if I didn't want to schedule, I want to show you. Here it is. And the reason it's grayed out is because it is scheduled. And here you'll see that it says scheduled. So let me show you one more way that you can post something. Again, create assignment. And we're going to create, you know, maybe this one is math time. And instead of assigning it right away or scheduling it, you can click on Save Draft. So if you have 5 minutes and you wanted to start setting up something for the next time, then go ahead and do it. And then you can always go back and modify that. And here it says draft, so I know it's not done. And it's not posted because it's grayed out. Okay, so here you're going to have all your topics for all of your weeks. And here you'll have the assignments. I wanted to show you another Google Classroom. That's kind of the one that I was showing you earlier, the mock one, just to see what a more populated one would look like. So you can see again. So for week 1, it was ELA, then the math, and then the science assignment, and so forth. Now, just so you know, you could move and toggle these around, but what we're wanting to see is that all of the week 1 stuff lives at the bottom and that as the weeks continue to grow, that they live at the top. That's right. I wanted to show you what it would look like if I'm creating an assignment and I only want to give it to a select few students. So we can call a phonics lesson. Maybe these students need extra support. So I'm going to click over here. I'll do all of my jazz here with instructions. I'll add whatever needs to go there. I can add multiple classes. If I'm at the middle school, maybe I can do this for all periods, all the advanced classes. That might get complicated with this student feature. So here, maybe I only have a few students who need this phonics lesson. There's only 3. So I'm going to pick the 3 students that maybe need a little bit more support. So I'm going to click on these 3 students, and those students will now only receive this lesson. Okay, so it's a great way to differentiate, for your lows and even for your highs. And again, the rest of it lives the same. If I'm going to be posting this and it goes for week 4, I don't have to keep creating the week. Now I'll just drop down here and I'll select week 4 and it'll live under week 4. Okay. Here I'm going to save as the draft because I'm not finished. I didn't attach everything. So that's what that would look like. Now let's go back to our period 1 history here. Again, you would rename it something different at the elementary level. So we've talked about the stream, we've talked about classwork. Now I want to look into people. Now, if you want to add students, you could do it this way. Invite students here one by one by typing in their name or their email. So if I know a student, then I'm going to click it if I see their name here. And then I would press invite, and then this student would get an email invite. And the great thing is, as soon as they get invited, then I can add more things here to them. Here, I'll show you what that looks like back into our mock. I hope this is not confusing you, and I hope that this is helping you. So again, I'm going to go to the People tab in my other populated Google Classroom. And you'll see all of my students. There's this button that says Invite Guardian. So I want to show you what that looks like. You'll see that I've already invited a few of them. Okay, let's see. Let's try Miss Effelin. We're going to invite her guardian. Here I would type in the email of her guardian. It wouldn't work just to type the name because our parents don't have school Gmail accounts. I'd have to type in their actual email address. And then it would invite them, and then they would get a summary of the assignments that get posted. And when you return graded work, they will also get the grades breakdown. Okay, and that could be for another lesson. I don't want to overwhelm you. So this is literally just some of the basics. Now the grading feature, I'm going to go back. Let's go here. The grading feature can be disabled, but this is what it would look like. And maybe this can help you figure out if they've done their work. And honestly, out of 100, it was kind of a lot for me to do. So what I like to do is just change it to out of the points possible, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can say, okay, this student got a 4. They did exactly what I asked. Maybe they got a 2 and they were missing a lot of components, but they did do a lot of the work and so forth. Okay, so just a little tip. That's something that can help. And here I can enter the grades and it will show up. Okay. And here I can click on return and the student will get their grade back. If I do not click return, then the student cannot see their assignment, can only see their assignment and can no longer edit. Okay, so I have to go ahead and do that. If I don't remember what Ms. Barnes turned in, then I'm going to go to view submission and see what she has posted. You'll see that I have this new window. And this new window will show me what she's posted. Now, she hasn't posted anything because this was just an example classroom. So I can also click here and see what everybody else in the class posted. And I can do a private comment here and say, you forgot your thesis statement. Please read the slide number 10. Okay, and so that can help them out. Again, I can add some grading here. Now, once I post this, the student will be able to reply to me for that as well. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and press cancel. So now what we're going to do is click out of this one because I didn't want to grade it. But that is the basics of Google Classroom and how you're going to set it up for the 2020-2021 school year. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out and let me know how else I can support you. Thank you.